Hello students, I wanted to give you some information about your article reviews and your action research proposals, general information and feedback so that you can improve your assignments for the remainder of the course and just get a sense for where things stand at this point in the semester. In general, and I will post this written transcript of this video for you as well, so you can read it if you want to go back and gather any details from it as well. Regarding the article review specifically, the assignment details state that the critique section is 20% of your paper, and the application analysis section is 60%. That means that the introduction section is the remaining 20%. In many cases, the introductions or summaries of the articles went on for a significant part of the paper, and there really should just be similar to the critique section, about 20%. You just need to give me enough information about the article so that I can understand your critique and feel that you've given it an appropriate critique, and also that I understand how you may see that it's applied or to your own context or to your own action research project. Please also remember that critique can be positive and negative. However, also, although my guiding questions ask you if an article is well written, just saying that this article was well written is not enough. I need some explanation of what you mean or why you thought it was well written, and so I need to give that more detail there. If there's any element of your critique where I could then say why is it well written, why is it vague, why is it unclear, why is it a good article, then you need to give me more information. Overall, about your action research proposals, I'd say about half the class has received approval to move forward on the action research proposals. About a quarter have substantial revisions, and another quarter have more minor revisions or need to send me additional information before you get started. Some of that is, send me your survey questions. What guiding questions are you going to use for your reflection? Those kinds of things. Your action research proposal grade stands as it is, since not everyone needed to make revisions. And in many cases, the grade was impacted by writing quality, by organization, APA formatting, etc. And so some students may have approval to start their projects because they had solid research plans, but may still have had points taken off for many other aspects. So I'll be looking at those revisions or additional information to make sure you're ready to go with your project, not in order to regrade your assignment. There's still plenty of assignments left in the class, though, to help you if you're concerned about your final grade. In general, regarding your research plans, make sure that you're collecting data methodically, follow protocols, give yourself guiding questions for your reflections. Don't collect data because it sounds like it'll be cool to know. If it's not related to your research question, don't collect it, because once you collect all that data, you're going to have to analyze it, and you're going to have to analyze it in a very short time frame. So think to yourself, does this data connect with my research question? Do I know how I'm going to analyze it? Is it going to be possible to analyze it in the amount of time I have for the project, etc.? In general, regarding your literature reviews, the best literature reviews are ones that summarize themes in the literature as they connect to your research questions, rather than go summary of this article said this article said this article said this. And in the transcript for this video, as well as in another handout I'm going to give you, I've given you some examples of how to kind of change the way that you're writing in the literature review. You also may want to look at the section in the Hendricks book, page 61, specifically a list of suggestions for literature reviews that may be helpful as you're working on your final project. In general, regarding APA formatting, I'll say up front from the very beginning, APA is hard. Remembering all the details of APA is hard. Using APA format correctly every time is hard. But I do also know that every time you use it and do it correctly, it gets easier and more of it sticks in your brain. I still have my book. It's right here in front of me, actually. I still have my book. I check it for some references. It's even open to a specific thing, a page about secondary sources, which is when you have as cited in. So if you're citing something someone else cited, so I didn't read book A, I read book B that talked about book A, then I have to use that as a secondary source and use as cited in. And so I was looking in the book this morning to make sure I gave you the page number where you could find that information. You can also, if you don't have the book, use APA Purdue OWL, of course. The most significant problems for in-text citation is that you only use the author's first name, unless they're a famous person and it makes sense to kind of use both. But really, in almost every case, I only use author's first name. You also need to include the date in parentheses after the author's name. And there are many instances across all of your papers of errors with punctuation. Where do the periods go? Where do the commas go in the text itself? How do you end a quotation? Where does the parentheses go if you're using a direct quote, etc.? Please, 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 again, use the APA format and use the manual. Practice it as much as you can, as often as you can. Most significant problems for the reference list are capitalization. What do you capitalize? What titles do you capitalize? What titles don't you capitalize? And punctuation and italics for journals, for issues in journals, volumes and issues, and then whether or not you should include the website information. So please, please, please read the manual, use Purdue OWL, and find the answers to those questions. In general, regarding your writing, organization, grammar, spelling, there's some stellar papers, but there are also some that have lots of errors in them, basic errors around organization or grammar or spelling. Everything you write should be your best effort, absolutely. Of course, sometimes I find that we explain things better when we're talking about them, and then our ideas get jumbled when we put them on paper. So one technique I often use is taking extra time to read my paper. So I will close the door to my office and I will sit there and I will read through the paper and I will hear where things are disorganized, where things are jumbled, and I can change them a little bit better. I might not see it when I read the paper itself. I might not notice that that's a sentence that goes on for a whole paragraph. But when I read it out loud and I don't stop because there's no punctuation there to make me stop, I'm like, oh wait, that's way too much in one sentence. And then I can change it around a little bit. I've also developed a handout for you and for all my students that I'm going to start using in class called Common Writing Issues That Muddy Your Communication, and I have uploaded that into the Blackboard site as well. Please read over it, review your written assignments for the errors I've marked, and please make effort to not make the same mistakes again, so I'll know that the hours I spend working on your papers is worth it, because I do hope to help you improve your writing as you go through the program as well. So just some general information, as I said, and some specific information about your writing, hopefully enabling you to be more successful in the remainder of the course. You do have article review number 2. One reason why I changed the deadline on article review number 2 was to make sure that you had the opportunity to hear this feedback from me today and to see your feedback on article review 1 and your action research proposal so that you can continue to improve your writing for the course itself. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Use the Ask Your Question form. I'm more than happy to chat with you. I'm always on Blackboard IM if I'm at my computer, so you can just shoot me a quick question that way as well. And I am happy to make any meeting with you, Skype, phone, face-to-face, as the case may be. So hope all goes well. I look forward to hearing from you and your reflections as you start your process for your action research proposals, and then those of you who still have revisions to send to me. The sooner you get to me, the sooner that I can get them back to you, and then we can move on with getting your proposal started, your actual project started as well. Thanks.